Hey guys, Darren here. Welcome to Mayhem Country Living. I want to show you what we are working on today. It is cold and rainy outside on this Sunday afternoon, so today we're going to be working inside, and we are going to do some thermos cooking using a thermos, and we are going to be making vegetable soup, reconstituting some of the vegetables that we have been drying out in our Excalibur dehydrator. Now, you don't have to do it in a thermos if you don't want to. You could do it on the stovetop if you preferred, but if you are in a situation where you don't have fuel to heat your water for a very long time, because it does take a while for this to reconstitute, and it reconstitutes better with warm water. Okay guys, now we're back. And also, in addition to using a lot less fuel to keep the water hot while it reconstitutes, there is very, very low odor. So, if you're in a situation where you are wanting something hot to eat and you don't want the cooking smells to travel very far, it's a really good way to do it, because there's really not a lot of odor until you add all your spices in. Everything stays in the thermos for a few hours while it's warming up and staying hot, reconstituting, and nobody smells it. So it's a really good way to do it. Now, I cannot take credit for this one. The first time years ago I watched a guy on YouTube do this, BC Truck. He and I have actually become friends. I saw him do this 3 years ago, and I thought, I'll be damned, that is a pretty neat way to do it. And we've always used thermoses, just out, in the cold weather. But this is a great way to actually cook and save energy while you're cooking, because the vacuum of the thermos is going to keep everything nice and hot, and it'll actually allow it to cook inside the thermos. So I always thought that was really cool. And this is some of the stuff you can do. I'm not going to throw all this in there. We are going to do some mixed vegetables, bell pepper, red and white onions, some garlic, some adobo seasoning, and we're going to do some pasta. Just throw it in there, and I'm only going to make just enough for maybe a meal. Now, one of the things we're having to work on is portions, because once you dehydrate it, it kind of throws my concept of portioning off. It might not with you, but I'll show you. This quart, and I posted some pictures as I was doing it through the week, and this were 5 pounds of frozen vegetables. So you can see that it is going to be a little bit of adjusting your recipes. Now, I have figured out that this is about 1/3 of a cup, so that's all of the mixed vegetables we're going to put in there. So, like I said, it may be a little more or a little less, but this is going to be a learning curve. So I'm going to say per person, 1/3 of a cup of the dried vegetables, the main dried vegetables. So if I was going to do potatoes in here, I would do 1/3 of a cup of potatoes. I am going to do a handful of onions. I like onions. Handful of bell peppers, a little bit of the garlic. I'm going to throw in a leaf of lemon balm, because it just smells so much like lemon, and it just warms you up. It's just really, really nice. So we're going to get started on this, guys. More to come. Okay, guys. Now, my wife actually got this thermos for me, I want to say earlier in the year. This is some of the Magnolia House stuff that Chip and Melinda Gaines, I want to say that's them, the home renovators. They have their TV show in Texas. This was discounted. It was $30, and I think I got it for 10, or she got it for me for $10. So I mean, it was a really, really good deal. Now, we're going to do 1/3 of a cup of the mixed vegetables. I see a funnel in my future. Maybe a canning funnel. I'll buy an extra 1 or 2 of them. There we go. That's good. And then we're going to do A little bit of bell pepper. And again, I'm just doing this for one person. For me, like I said, we're going to try it out. A little bit of onion. More to come, guys. Okay, guys, now we're back and I want to show you. This is the lemon balm that we have. This is a perennial herb. If you ever get a chance and have the space to grow it, you got to grow it. This just makes any kind of dish that you would put lemon in, it just makes it exceptional. We're going to drop that leaf in there so it'll rehydrate. Also, one of the nice things about lemon balm, if you are looking for something sort of like chamomile that will help put you to sleep in the evenings, help relax you, 3 or 4 leaves of this in some warm water with a little bit of honey, and you will probably go to sleep before you finish the tea. This is very powerful. If you are drinking alcohol, you do not mix lemon balm and alcohol because it may, well, it may kill you. This is a very powerful sedative if you use too much of it. But in moderation, it is good. And there we go. I'm going to throw in a little bit of garlic here. This is some of the garlic that we have dried. It is good stuff. I'm not going to put a lot in there because Hoot said she wouldn't kiss me if I put in too much of it. She will not be eating any of this today, I don't think, because she thinks I'm crazy for doing this. But that's all right. Just a little bit of pasta, and I think I do want to put in a little bit of this adobo. It's a really good sauce. Okay, guys, we're back, and I just want you to kind of look down in there and see, and we're just going to give it a try. We will probably add more seasoning after we've cooked, but this is going to be good for now. Now we're going to get the water poured in, and then we will sit. More to come. Okay, guys, now we have our water boiling. And like I said, I'm not quite sure how much water we will need. That was 2 cups of water. Let's take a look. And that put it about halfway, which is going to be pretty good, I think. And now what we do, we're going to put this on. Set it just like that, and then just as an extra layer of insulation, we're going to wrap it up in a couple of towels. That's going to keep everything nice and warm. We should not have much heat loss at all. There we go. So I'm going to wrap it up a little bit tighter and set it aside in just probably on top of the stove over here, because it is boiling hot on the inside, and that way nobody, most people associate stoves with heat, and that'll keep people from bumping into it or knocking it around. But now we wait for 2 hours. What do you guys want to talk about for 2 hours? Have y'all been doing okay? Now, through the miracle of modern cinema, when we come back on, 2 hours will have passed. Just like that. Okay guys, now we're back. Holy cow, has it been 2 hours? Actually, it's been an hour. I figured I would crack it open and see, and lo and behold, it is done. Soup is on. I'll show you. And I was talking with Marvin Clayton on Facebook in one of the Facebook groups, and he said it was really interesting. He thought, well, that's a pretty good idea. Now, I will tell you, you can do chili this way, you can do gumbo this way. What I would do is, if this was, you know, bug out soup, I would get a can of white breast meat, shredded chicken, and put it in there with it, and then I would have it that way. I did have to add some more seasoning to it. Put some fresh ground black pepper, and added a little bit of salt in there because I hadn't put any salt in there. I did the adobo seasonings. I did do some garlic powder as well, and just a little bit to give it a little bit more flavor. So, more to come. Alright guys, now we're back. Let's do some numbers here. So, about 1/2 of a cup of the dried vegetables. I figure 1/3 of bell pepper, the mixed vegetables, the onions and stuff like that, the garlic. That probably ended up being about 1/2 a cup after I added, and the pasta of dry weight. 2 cups of water yields about a little bit less than 2 cups of the soup. So it did not take as much water as I thought to absorb. It's a little bit less, but now that's not too bad. So you could almost have a civil, nice, warm soup. Again, you can do beef stew this way. You can do chicken and dumplings this way. Anything that you can do on a stove that has to simmer and cook for a long time, the Thermos is a really good way to do it. And again, I am not the person who came up with this. I saw this on BC Trucks YouTube page. So I have to give him credit. I don't know if he came up with it himself or if he got it from somebody else. It's a great way to do it. We buy these thermoses at yard sales and stuff. I probably have 4 or 5 of that same size stuck away in our prepper pile, I guess. But now I do want to do one more thing before we finish up. I'm going to actually put it into bowls, and you'll notice it's festive Christmas bowls because it is almost Christmas, and see how much it would be. You know, obviously if I was hungry I could eat that and a tube of crackers and, you know, and be ready to roll. I would say I would absolutely add meat to it just to make it a little more hearty and give you more calories if you were on the road or on the run. Let's pour it up. More to come. Okay guys, now we're back and I will show you finished and prepared. Just regular old vegetable soup from the stuff that we have been dehydrating. I did go ahead and put a sprig of rosemary across the top of it, and you can smell it. I crushed it. Put some crackers over there. If you prefer oyster crackers, you could do that. Whatever is in your bug out bag. You don't have oyster crackers in your bug out bag? We might need to address that. Anyway guys, this is just to show you what you can do. Innovative and creative Thermos cooking. How about that? And I did go ahead and clean up the kitchen so I won't get in trouble with the hooch while she's out buying Walmart. But I am going to wrap it up. That's going to be it. You can add it, tweak it, adjust it, do whatever you want to it. Again, I would add some shredded chicken, canned chicken. Now I will say before we go, you can also do this and water bath can it, everything but the pasta. I don't believe you can water bath. You can, I'm sorry, pressure can pasta and rice. I don't think you can pressure can pasta and rice. So if I were you, I would check to make sure that you can do it. And if you do it that way, you can always be sure to check your elevation as well to adjust your cooking time. So you could do that. Again, this is a nice addition extra way of preserving your food and the stuff you get in the summer, the bounty. How about that? So now we're going to wrap it up for real. Just a second, you're going to see a picture of my ugly mug pop up over on that side of the screen, as well as my beautiful wife. On the opposite side are going to be some videos, if we are indeed your brand of wacky. Take care of you guys, people.